eSports on stream.
Yep, so without further ado, we are going to bring it to Empire Strongholds.
And did you see Blaze before that game?
I didn't.
Throwing his hands up in the air, doing Blaze-like things.
There we go.
It looks like he must be feeling pretty good.
All right, well, who do you want to start it off with?
All right, I think we got to start this one off here. And we're taking a look at Blaze.
All right, let's see what he does.
Ooh, that's a great capture.
Kyle, unbelievable. All right, but this is a very particular strat. It looks like all 4 of them actually capped that inside blue base and then went for overshield, all 4 of them, and now 2 already died. So I'm not sure if that was because of teamwork or just because of a poor strategy.
But what we did have happening, that's going to be Camo going over the hands of Optic Gaming, and that's in Frosty's hands as he's able to capture red base. They did not elect to go for it initially. They did, however, work out in their favor as they did capture Pit. They got the camo. They're putting time on the clock here now and with a numbers advantage.
Oh, yeah, and watch Frosty just kind of playing around with his food, right? He has the camo, and he's not even helping out his team too much. But at the same time, he is kind of indirectly. So right there, getting a solid, perfect kill, even though it was a little bit delayed on comp. Good kill by him. And
this is already a triple cap coming out here from Optic Gaming, just being completely countering the push outside from SetToDestroy when they even had the numbers advantage, not even being able to burn the overshield. This opening strategy saw camo, overshield, and all 3 strongholds go over to Optic Gaming.
Oh my goodness, Kyle, that is so right. Not only that, but Frosty just doing a phenomenal job at staying alive. His camo had already run out, but he just kind of waited behind that stronghold for just a second, long enough that the enemy threw a grenade and then he thrust it out of that window. Really good play by him.
All right, now you see, you do have SetToDestroy trying to capture the blue base, but look at the kill feed there. You have Royal 2 grabbing a double kill, getting the reset once again. It's kind of starting to look like that Straight Rippin' versus Allegiance series where they went on a 100-0 run after falling behind 10 points.
Yeah, this is getting out of hand, Kyle. I mean, it's 49-0. They have a full triple cap, and with that being said, we're throwing a gold rec pack up on the screen. No scope 9. Enter that in at halo.gg, and you will get a free gold rec pack in-game in Halo 5.
And finally, we're seeing another stronghold go back over into the favor of SetToDestroy. This is going to be a good opportunity to hopefully get some points on the board here, but no, Lethal just toying with his food, like you said. All 4 of these guys, there's so many grenades blowing up here. They don't even have the ability to push out of the base. You can see Lethal turned around. He saw 2 more members of Optic Gaming right there next to him who were working on that collapse there to SetToDestroy.
And great nade by Burton actually cleaning up that kill on Lethal. It was surprising that he sprinted because his shields actually stayed down long enough for him to die to that grenade. But Royal 2 grabbed the overshield and already going for ground pounds, and he logged to Zoxic in that one.
All right, now we'll stay on board here with Royal 2, who just grabbed that most recent overshield here, 67-4. You saw SetToDestroy able to put a couple points on the board, but 4-second segments are not going to be what you need to get back into this one here when Optic Gaming is all over your base.
Yeah, and I don't know if camo was ever grabbed. I think it might still be up. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like we don't have any players that have actually grabbed it yet, so maybe it is still in that tower. We do not know for certain, but I'm pretty sure it is still up. Now it's 75-4 as Frosty continues to push, continues to get these kills. It seems like every single time we see this kill feed churn, it's something of a double kill favoring Optic Gaming.
Yeah, and look at this. It's about to be another triple cap here on the board. Frosty's able to secure blue base. You can see across the screen there, Matt in that little player icon is locking down red base here. That's Royal 2. Pit is starting to be captured by SetToDestroy, but they're going to need more members and a lot more help here if they're going to focus on getting this one as that reset once again comes in.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it just looks like it's all but over now, Kyle. I hate to say it, but SetToDestroy just did not come out hot in this Empire Strongholds. As soon as that initial push fell down and just crumbled, it seemed like they crumbled with it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more here. 98-4 currently, keeping the hill from resetting. That's going to be all she wrote here for this game number 1 as Optic Gaming, the defending Halo World Champions, come out strong in that game number 1, taking out SetToDestroy. And I will take a quick look at the stats here momentarily. We were talking a whole lot about Blaze that game, but he did not have the performance he's going to have in order to take this series going 2-11 this time around here. And just the overall slays, that's going to be 39 kills to 14 kills, Ghost.
Yeah, and that's rough. I mean, I think that really we just saw everything spin out of control. Once those first 2 guys died outside, there was about 3-4 seconds in between. Then we saw the next two guys die on the Set to Destroy team. And when that happens, we all know Empire Strongholds can get really sticky, right? You have these staggered spawns. You try and capture a hill because you're afraid of the triple cap. You're afraid of, all these points kind of bleeding out. But that was the beginning of the match. You cannot, kind of make that call that early on and then just run with it through the rest of the game. It seemed like they always had 2 players dead on the Set to Destroy roster. Not sure if that was just kind of their cohesion and how they came out kind of flat, or if that was more so Optic Gaming kind of showing up at another World Championship event.
Yeah, I think in order for Set to Destroy to come out here and take any games from Optic Gaming, you really need to get that early lead and build some sort of a cushion. And then by the end of the game, when Optic Gaming, as always, starts to bring that back, you can hopefully close it out. But what you cannot have happen is fall behind 60 seconds or so in a stronghold against this team and expect it to be anywhere closer, to expect to maintain the same sort of setup that Optic Gaming themselves were doing.
Yeah, and I also got to point out that the next game is Coliseum Slayer. And those of you familiar with, I guess, Halo 5 would probably know that Optic Gaming is really damn good at it. Frosty, notorious for kind of implementing that Frosty maneuver, right, where he thrust slides into the sniper and hits a good shot. But checking out some of the replays here, there's a quick double kill yet again, right? We keep seeing these pop up in the lower left corner of your screen. Is now Lethal, gets a solid stick. But yeah, just an unfortunate game 1 for Set to Destroy. We're going to have to see if they can bounce back. They do have an uphill battle, and hopefully we see a little bit of a better starting strat for Set to Destroy. It seemed like once that went down, they really couldn't climb back.
Yeah, I mean, and we were talking about that camo a lot that game. So it was 4 power-up picks to 0, and I'm pretty sure 3 of them were over shields, and 1 of them was the camo that we saw off the start of the game. So I believe that camo was still sitting up that whole time, but regardless, 4 to 0 is overall power-ups, and that's not what you're going to be able to do to win against Optic Gaming. You need to out-power-up pick them, if just made that word up, and have more power-weapon kills than them if you have any chance of winning.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, we were talking amongst ourselves a little bit, and Optic Gaming, Envy, these are 2 teams that they do not let you get away with mistakes. When you make even just the smallest one, right, of trying to execute on a new starting strat against them, it spirals out of control. They punish you for anything that you do, so you really got to be careful and try not to pull any crazy plays out. I don't know if that was something that's been working for Set to Destroy in the past on that Empire Strongholds breakout, but hopefully we kind of get a little bit more standardized layout here as they push out in this Coliseum Slayer, because that, it kind of looked like they were trying to pull like one of those trick college plays, right? And it just didn't work out for them. Like, oh, okay, we know we're Boise State. Let's see if we can go for the long bomb. Yeah, it didn't work out. So, let's go back to the basics maybe a little bit and see if Set to Destroy can at least put up a good fight in this Coliseum Slayer match.
Yeah, I mean, if they're able to control those power weapons and run around with them, like get him in the hands of Blaze, keep him alive, and allow him to start picking off kills, you've seen teams and individual players themselves be able to go off and control the pace of a game, even against the likes of Optic Gaming. The names that kind of ring a bell there are Straight Sick, Ace had a game, a Strongholds Rig, Straight Sick had to capture the Flag or a Coliseum game once, and then of course Envious, who's been able to defeat Optic Gaming several times now as well. Those players, that the skill level of those players, which I think a lot of these guys, if not all 4 of them, can kind of fit into that category, have the ability to do this.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, when you're looking at the Optic Gaming roster right now, we know that they are not the first seed, but they are still the defending world champions. We know how much they grind for Worlds. It's obviously no surprise, right? Lethal and the rest of his crew usually streaming in some sense and usually gaming. So it seems like we always are fond of watching Optic play in practice. So let's start it off on Coliseum Slayers. Kyle, who do you want to go with?
We're going to go with Blaze. Give him another chance this time. So, of course, he just picked up 2 kills last game.
Ooh.
It shouldn't be too hard to outdo himself this time.
I gotta say, doing this little sticky nade, I know that Snakebite actually, it really gets to him. He hates the fact that people can throw that nade on the rockets at the beginning of the match, so maybe that'll, trigger him a little bit.
I think it did, because he just perfected Blaze right after that, so clearly not happy about what he just did with that Plasma, but I think that was
Maybe
Rockets. Did you just see Rockets on Fountain?
I didn't.
I'm pretty sure I just saw Rockets bouncing around there towards
I was
Fountain.
gazing into Lethal's eyes as he grabbed the sniper and turned around.
And it looks like they do go over in the hands of Snakebite. So already 4-2 lead. Rockets and Sniper going over in favor of Optic Gaming, even though SetToDestroy was the initial aggressors on the Rocket power weapon launch.
But it looks like 2 kills actually just went down to SetToDestroy. I believe the Rockets are down and now in the hands of Blaze. If we can move on board with him, it looks like he does in fact have the Rockets and a DMR, trying to make sure that it looks like, yes, Calm does stay alive and gets that kill.
Lethal, who had the sniper rifle.
Yeah, big kill, big kill.
7-7, so not a bad position to be in here after that opening strategy, losing everything off the start. Ooh, great job there. Snakebite was crouching around bottom center, not showing up on radar, but finally when he did peek, Blaze was recognizing it and did grab that kill.
And he thankfully doesn't waste a rocket on that guy. His teammate did clean him up, so he still has one left. 11-7 as these guys actually are putting in some work right now. I mean, Blaze doesn't look like he's doing too much except for controlling Snipe side, but it doesn't need to be much more than that because it looks like the rest of his team's holding it down.
And look at this, Eric. ToXoxic found the sniper on Lethal's dead body and back of Blue here. Gets one, misses, 3 shots or 2 shots.
Not like him at all.
Yeah, it really isn't. Not grabbing another headshot there. 14-8 though sells the lead. You see in the kill feed there, Blaze grabs a double kill here. We'll stay on board as he is out of rockets and finally connects on that shot onto Lethal. Lethal can't be.
Oh, baby! He's hitting him tonight.
Yeah, he was a little rocky of a start, but now he's starting to heat up. 17-8.
17-8, Kyle, as he picks up that Brute Plasma Rifle. We all know how deadly that can be at close range, not to mention when you swap it with a pistol. It has a pretty quick swap time, but also the rifles are pretty good at cleaning up those final kills as well. And it looks like Optic Gaming is just, they're mellowing out a little bit. They're waiting for their teammates to spawn. It looks like ToXoxic did not notice that guy on his radar underneath him. A little bit concerning for me as, you know, as a caster, I noticed it.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not one you wish you could have back, essentially, because those kills, like we said, you cannot be giving away any kind of free deaths or kills here. Not a bad trade, you know.
Not a bad trade.
Still has 1 rocket left, and that rocket's going to get used on another trade.
Was that another trade, or did Snakebite just kill himself? Did he just commit suicide?
Did he? He's
it looked like he did. I can't tell for sure. Maybe oh wait, no, he is alive.
Yeah,
okay, he must have killed someone. But it looked like he almost did kill himself. All right, that being said, Snakebite pushing over, gets a solid headshot, as now looks like Burton slid a little bit too far and fell to a certain doom.
All right, but now we do have Snakebite pushing around. He's getting some call-outs of the player hiding bottom center. They're both going to start pushing on him, throwing some grenades down there. The player has yet to be cleaned up yet. Royal 2, and Royal 2 does have the sniper rifle, so we'll go ahead and see what he's up to.
You know, I don't think we need to, but we can hop on over, see if he does anything. Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, he's only gotten 1 headshot so far. ToXoxic obviously setting the bar pretty high. Ripped a couple faces there. We'll see what Royal 2 is able to answer back.
To be fair, ToXoxic and his squad are still up 21-19, but it looks like Optic is finally climbing back into this match, and they do have control of the sniper, and now pushing over to the sniper side, seeing if they can get a little bit more control, as now Snakebite gets a solid kill.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like, this game is slowing down. I like what we're seeing from Optic Gaming. Obviously, the beginning was not working out in their favor, and they know as long as they play slow and methodically, there's no way SetToDestroy is going to be able to match that same sort of intensity and same discipline here that we have from Optic.
Yep, and the other scary thing right now for that SetToDestroy roster is that rockets are up, and it doesn't look like anyone is in position to grab it, as now Royal 2 takes down Calm with a swift headshot, and it looks like now the rockets will fall into the hands of Frosty, someone who is notorious for grabbing those little suckers. And Calm off the spawn, getting nose-scoped by Royal 2 in the body, not what he wants to see when he checks that elbow spawn.
Right, I thought you were going to say Royal 2 with a, or Calm with a swift kill over on that other player.
I mean,
but
you know, I thought about it, but I didn't want to go full pun.
All right, 23-23, Royal 2 with that sniper rifle still stuck over here in blue corner.
Oh my God, he's playing with this guy with rockets. I'm not sure who has them. It looks like that would be ToXoxic, I believe, he died there. But we're going to stay on board with Royal 2, as now he still has 4 bullets left in this sniper rifle. We all know how dangerous he could be with it, and he still has 2 splinter grenades. It looks like he's kind of been stocking up over here for Christmas.
And you know the craziest thing about what we were just watching is we talk about how important it is to rotate power weapons. Well, what we're seeing from Royal 2 right now is he's not rotating the power weapon over to his teammates. He's waiting till his teammates rotate over towards him, because he is able to lock down the elbow so effectively and dodge all of those rocket kills. Pretty sure he got collapsed on by 2 different players. Didn't even look nervous. I didn't even see his face make any kind of reactions, and he was able to stay alive the entire time, pick up multiple kills, and now we have Optic in a 3-kill lead.
Yeah, it's impressive. When you see a player that is that determined, that they're, pretty much dead in the face, you know that something's wrong. Those guys are cold stone killers.
Yeah, power weapon kills overall this game are still in favor of SetToDestroy, as it is 5-3, and that's exactly what they need to do in order to keep this one close. But as we see, once we hit that 50 halfway mark, the lead from Optic Gaming is starting to build, and unless they start making some mistakes here and allow those power weapons to go over in the favor of SetToDestroy, you can pretty much expect this lead to continue to build.
Yeah, and it's odd because at one point I believe it was they were only up by down by 1 kill Optic Gaming. And now they've just kind of slowly but surely surpassed that deficit, and now are up by 6. As now we move on board with Blaze, who gets a solid rocket kill, has to get this reload, but tries to help out his teammate, put a solid shot down. It looks like ToXic does get the cleanup, as he is very well aware of Lethal trying to sneak around with that AR. Naughty, naughty.
Yeah, and Lethal's trying to be a sneaky little beaver down there. Not going to work out in his favor, as he did show up on radar momentarily. Blaze, you're out of rockets. Switch weapons, man. Oh, and he does get taken out.
All right, but it looks like Burton does get a solid cleanup kill, as now Snakebite cleans up Burton, and it is almost it's almost tied up. It's 39-35. It looks like Optic Gaming is slowly but surely moving away with this lead, but not for certain just yet. It looks like SetToDestroy is trying to do everything they can to stop it, and a whiff from Snakebite.
Yeah, in 42-36, sniper rifle in the hands of Snakebite. Plenty of ammo left here to close this one out. We'll see what he's able to do already. Got some big shoes to fill. ToXic set the bar. Royal 2 answered right back. Now it's, Snakebite almost does it.
Yeah, and
not quite
I think
there.
I don't know if we've really seen Mr. Duarte pick up the sniper that much, but it seems like he's moving around the map. His positioning is actually, it's pretty savvy, but it doesn't look like he's got the same no-scope capabilities that some of his other squad mates do. I don't know if I've ever seen someone get ready to throw the sniper off the map like he did right there, so props to him for just being mindful about it.
Yeah, still plenty of ammo left here. Taking a look at some of the kills. Calm struggling in this game, sitting at 4 kills and 12 deaths. So really being down this far. And
man, what a
Hail Mary. And taking another player no shield to make that 2 players. Just being so impactful with this weapon. 48-39. Still 2 shots left. I wonder if he'll be able to close this one out here. Has he had any headshots yet?
I've just seen some body shots. He's trying to go for some no-scopes. Now he's out of ammo, but he's going to pick up that carbine. But he is still getting shot. I'm not sure where that angle is coming from. Oh, it's the red bridge. And he cleans him up. Calm gets shut down once again. Looks like 50-40 in favor of Optic Gaming, as they go up 2-0 in the final series of the night.
Yeah, but that was a lot closer of a game. It kind of was what I was hoping for SetToDestroy to do, but wasn't exactly sure if they're going to be able to pull it off. Now, of course, Calm was having a rough game, and sometimes you'll have that when you're matching up against one of these best teams in the world. Just things don't go your favor in your way sometimes.
So, Kyle, I got to ask you. I know that you've been witness, maybe even taken part in some big comebacks in the day. We're not going to name any specific matches.
Yeah,
but,
let's not do that.
That being said, what are the odds in your head? What are the chances that a team like SetToDestroy here could actually come back and do something with this series? Do you think that the reverse sweep is possible? Is there any chance?
Is there? There's always a chance. If these guys can catch fire, there is a chance. Now, if I was a gambling man, would I make any kind of bets on that? Probably not. The long shot odds there are going to be quite the story to tell. But still, Optic Gaming here, up with 2-0 lead. They've got to be feeling good about themselves. They know they're coming out. They're playing well. Even with all of those rocket and sniper kills going over in favor of Blaze and ToXic, still a 10-kill margin of victory here for Optic Gaming. And after that game number 1 domination, we're going into a truth CTF. Now, the objective play, I think, is more efficient from Optic Gaming than even their Slayers.
I think it is pretty efficient. I know that they're very useful with the sword, right? They're always making sure to run the flag on true CTF with that sword. Obviously, with that increased movement speed, when you have the sword out, it really does help, scale large distances in a very quick amount of time. That being said, though, I do still have to point out Blaze is one of my favorite flag runners to watch. He's extremely well equipped when it comes to the mobility in this game, and I've been watching him kind of piece together some really awesome flag runs throughout the day. He had an amazing one earlier against Panda Gaming on Coliseum that seemingly won them that series. So taking a look at the replay here, ToDestroyX hitting some decent snipes, but at the end of the day, the score was flipped, and Optic Gaming did pull out this win. As you see, Royal 2 trying to match some of those ToDestroyX snipes, and then Snakebite putting it away. Props to them. Now, that being said, moving on to capture the flag on Truth, who are you looking for to kind of go off? Is there any, Kyle, is there any particular, player with camo or with the sword, with the carbine, the BR? Is there any guy that sticks out for you here on either roster?
On either roster? Honestly, for Optic, no, because I think on a game type like this where there's just so few power weapons, you really see the teamwork and the team shooting come out, and just the different just routes that you see them take, like Snakebite. He's such a key objective player, probably the best objective player in the game. Now, he might not run the flag the fastest, but when some players are able to always make the right decision with the flags, that's what you really want on your team.
Yeah, for sure. And I say we started off, let's say with, what are you feeling? Lethal?
Lethal. Let's go with Lethal. He's having a pretty good game number 2 there. So we'll see. He's obviously the newest member to this team. Came over from the Evil
so weird to say that.
But
the newest member to this team. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a history that we've seen from this Optic Gaming squad. Of course, previously CLG when they won that Halo World Championships here. Camo going over in favor of Snakebite, but a ground pound coming in.
And can we talk about? I think it was Lethal right there. He just got a little bit frustrated. I don't know if he was joking around or not, but it looked like he was not happy that he received the ground pound, but it looks like Snakebite does have that camo, shooting long range on Pink 3. This is the second time I've seen this weekend. The only other person I've seen do that is actually Boo Boo Doo Boo. So maybe there's a new strat that I don't know about.
Yeah, but look at the strategy we're seeing from Optic Gaming. This setup that they just had, Car 2, top center, P3. Like, you can't ask for more cover fire teamwork and overall map control and height advantages than having those 3 positions.
For sure, and I hear a bunch of yells. I think that's coming from the main stage. If that is the case, I don't know if that was ToDestroyX or what, but it seemed like something definitely went down. Great assist right there by Snakebite, just plopping that little plasma grenade underneath him in that toilet, if you want to call it that.
And look at these routes. I am just blown away that he was able to stay alive and actually pick up an additional kill. Not only did he recognize 2 players are on top of the base and he was putting down that additional damage, he had to drop, stay alive, dodge grenades, and then still responded to a call out of his teammate from the player running car 1. So great overall play, amazing headshot, grabs a reversal here. Snakebite going off, already sitting at 7-0. He has yet to die this game.
And it doesn't look like he's planning on doing it anytime soon, Kyle. He's obviously maintaining control of that sword. They already have 1 flag cap, and it looks like they're running a second one now through Pink. Burton trying to get a grab, was not aware that Snakebite was kind of just lurking, waiting for him to make that play anyways, as now it looks like the Optic Gaming roster is doing what they normally do. Slay first, objective second.
Oh, and then Snakebite did just get taken out. He had that sword, tried to run under P2, so that's going to be 8-1 as he grabs his first death here. Royal 2 sitting at 1-1, so not being too impactful quite yet, and does get taken out. So we do have a flag standoff. You could be looking at a tied game up here shortly.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, and the camo, I believe, is up. It just popped. We're going to see if a player on either team does pick it up. That will be Frosty who picks it up, but we do not have any certainty on this flag cap right now, as it looks like it is being run out yet again by the SetToDestroy squad. Calm Mentality doing his best to extend this stalemate, but to no avail, it looks like, as Lethal gets a solid kill. But now Blaze taking down Lethal. Burton getting a perfect on Snakebite. Maybe I was wrong. It looks like we actually might have a flag cap if Burton continues to run it this way. Oh my goodness, how did he know?
They must have recognized he had camo. I honestly forgot about it for a second there, Ghost, and wow, what an amazing job.
You little jerk, you just coming in and just getting that sweet, sweet return. Looks like Burton, maybe if he didn't go for that plasma pistol and have that priority, he actually might have gotten the cap. But nevertheless, SetToDestroy is moving back. They're storming back to their base. They know that Royal 2 is back, and they all get taken down. So unfortunate, as now Royal 2 knows where the last guy is alive, does not get stuck by Burton, as now he's going to run that flag over to Pink side.
Oh. You can do it. You can do it.
Come
there
on,
we
Dale,
go.
Dad.
And he does make the flag up into the pink attic there. Taking a P1. I honestly thought that was going to be a capture for SetToDestroy.
Yeah,
it was looking real good.
It looked good, and then I don't know if it was the bottom middle flag run that caught him off guard or what, but it just looks like it was a little bit rough for them. As now, again, man, SetToDestroy is just trying too much and getting too little. They're desperating. And now we have some classic Optic Gaming body disrespect, do we want to call it that?
Yeah, it did come in there. Royal 2 smacking some dead bodies. I believe that was Blaze's body.
Some BM.
Ooh, some grenades happening. Flag's been moving across here. Calm Mentality trying to do what he can to keep this from ending.
Trying to do everything he can, but it just looks like it's going to be the end of it, and that is it. The series goes over to Optic Gaming 3-0. Very commanding finish on all 3 maps. Got to give them props. They really look good this week.
And it was kind of exactly what we were expecting. Although the series was extremely one-sided and the games weren't too close, there were still a lot of great moments that we saw from SetToDestroy, and individual skill and individual won battles even. But just overall, they might have won a couple battles here and there, but the war itself goes over to Optic Gaming, and wow, like Optic Gaming is here to make a statement this time around. They are not letting any games sneak by, and they just did prove that here.
Yeah, not at all. And we just had the stats pulled up for a second. Snakebite logging 15 kills. I don't think anyone else broke double digits, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right.
That's insane. Not to mention, out of those 15 kills, 13 of them were with the Magnum. So he did a phenomenal job, and he also killed Blaze 6 times, obviously shutting him down. Blaze only having 9 deaths, so clearly Snakebite got the best of him there. Just want to give a really big props to Optic Gaming, just closing down that intensity for the night. I've seen SetToDestroy all day, proving that they have the momentum on their side, and to just come out flat in that first game on Empire Strongholds against Optic, I think it really set the tone for the rest of the series.
Yeah, and right now we're taking a look at some of the replays here from this series. Of course, we did just see it closed out here by Optic Gaming with that 3-0 victory here, and that was one of my favorite plays of the series. So cool. Because I don't think Plasma Pistol tracks camo, right? So that was a direct hit with that. So pretty impressive by Burn to recognize that. Now I'm sure his teammates were involved in that decision. That camo player might have even gotten spotted. But
or maybe it could have been the return, right? The return icon might have started going quickly. Maybe someone called it out there. Yeah, but whatever the case may be. I still want to give a solid shout out to Zoxic hitting those solid snipes. We saw him hit those 2 good ones, but it didn't translate into a win on that Coliseum Slayer. As we all know, Optic Gaming seemingly always proves to be too strong in that damn game mode. So once again, it looks like Optic Gaming is here to stay. They are most likely inevitably going to face off against Envy maybe down the road. We'll see what happens there, but it looks like they came to play this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, there was no surprise here. Like, this is kind of what we expected. Everyone knows Envy and Optic are the Tier 1 teams right now, and it's up to everyone else to try to, well, what everyone else has been trying to do is form these new lineups that can come out and compete with those 2 squads. Now, I think we've seen a lot of improvements in the teams that have made changes so far.
Yeah.
But is that going to be enough to propel them up to that Tier 1 level? I think there's some potential, but the weekend will tell whether or not they're going to be able to do so.
I really do believe that too, Kyle. I mean, we've seen a lot of teams show up. We've seen some teams take a lot of games from Optic online, a lot from Envy as well. So I'm curious to see how that translates to this LAN tournament weekend. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they are still very much the Tier 1 guys, and we'll have to see if teams like Straight Rippin', teams like Liquid. or the likes of which can kind of come out and prove otherwise. So. That being said, that was a big match, man. That was a statement, in my opinion, from Optic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, Coliseum was almost a statement, in my opinion, from SetToDestroy, because they had those moments of greatness here, and they did an amazing job of controlling the power weapons against Optic Gaming of all teams.
Yeah, I think they went down 4-1 right in the beginning. They didn't have Sniper. They lost. Remember, they lost